You've heard of the cutting room floor. Every film, even an animated feature, goes through revisions and story changes that result in scenes being rearranged, restaged, or even cut out entirely. These changes are made, you guessed it, to make the story as strong as it can be. Now here you can take a look at some scenes that were in Treasure Planet but didn't make the cut.
Fairly late into production, we did some revisions on this sequence, and we introduced the idea of all of this being seen by young Jim Hawkins as a real toddler, and tried to get a more emotional introduction to the stories. We added some new scenes animated by Glenn Keane, John Ripa, and tried to warm it up and make it a little more Disney storybooky, and that's the one you see in the film.
What you're about to see now is the original prologue of the movie. In this version, we tell the story of Captain Flint and the Legend of Treasure Planet in a more straightforward way, narrated by the adult Jim Hawkins.
There are nights when the Ethereum is as calm and peaceful as a pond on the planet Pelsinor. Nights when the big merchant ships with their cargoes of Arcturian solar crystals can expect a smooth ride. But there was a time when even the calmest night could give way to the unexpected. Pirates, the enemies of all honest spacers. And the most feared of all these pirates was the notorious Captain Nathaniel Flint. Fire! Flint and his band of renegades would mysteriously swoop in out of nowhere. And then, gathering up their spoils, vanished without a trace. For 100 years, stories passed from spacer to spacer of Flint's secret trove, hidden somewhere at the farthest reaches of the galaxy. Stowed with riches beyond imagination, the loot of 1,000 worlds. As a kid, growing up on the mining planet Montresor, I lived and breathed those legends. Many a night I drifted to sleep with images of galleons, faraway planets, and Flint's gleaming trove dancing through my head. And then I turned 15.
Mrs. Hawkins.
Yeah, I'll be right. Jim!
This next bit you're going to see, we really hated to cut, but we ended up restructuring the movie to start out with Jim solar surfing, and so this bit had to go. But this actually shows Jim working on his solar surfer before he rides it, and he interacts with a little alien kid, and it kind of demonstrates his longing for a father.
Yeah, we were trying to sort of warm Jim up and show that he has his softer, more vulnerable side, and in a way it was our little homage to Catcher in the Rye with Holden Caulfield, this kind of tough, brash teenager, but around little kids he had this softer side that he wouldn't show to adults.
Do you want to throw away your entire future?
Whatever.
Mrs. Hawkins, my juice!
Yes, I'll be right there, Mrs. Dunwoody. Jim, you are not leaving this house. Oh.
Throw away my entire future. What future?
Wow. Did you make that solar surfer?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I got a scooter, but it's busted.
Oh, yeah? Well, let me take a look. Yeah, that's cool. But look, here's your problem. The cable's loose. Here, hang on.
Okay.
Just give me 2 seconds and I'll...
We've got it.
No problem.
You did it! How come you're so smart, Dad?
I guess I take after you, Ethan.
You want to see how fast I can go?
We explored a few different ways of ending the movie. It went on for a while. In a very early version, we actually showed Jim Hawkins as an adult, as a captain of his own ship, sort of sailing the galaxy. And for various reasons, we kind of went away from that, particularly when we dropped the adult Jim narration.
In this one, you're going to see the Benbow, the burned-out Benbow, actually being rebuilt by Jim. You'll see a little carpentry in here and some sawing and hammering that you don't get to see in the version in the theaters.